Random Geezer Thoughts, February 15th, 2025. If you like the content that's been provided in this segment of the Get Geezer, if you're a returning visitor to Get Geezer, thanks for coming by. And if you would not mind, hit that subscribe button, give my content a thumbs up, share my content among others, and I definitely welcome your comments in the section below. Well, I am out to do one delivery opportunity today, and that is a gig food delivery one on Instacart. Stacked order, offer amount $30, 31 cents, total items 16. And for me, that's all I need for this week. Most of the stuff that I did was low board based, expediting opportunities. And that's because, quite frankly, the gig apps, at least in my opinion, for me in this market where I'm at, Columbia, South Carolina metropolitan area, has been rigor mortis. I mean, say what you want. I've been doing this for a while, and I've not seen things like this. Yes, people talk about how January's slow and February is slightly slower and all. And yes, it's true. But I look at my numbers over the last few years, particularly the last 2 years, and I know that January 2023 was a transitional time for me. And so it was actually slightly better than what I'd done in December of 2022. January, February last year, I talked about how things had fallen off in January, but then I didn't talk about what I did in February, but I had overperformed in February. Everything that I could have done went better than expected. So now, but I don't want to really get caught. I don't want to talk so much about that. I do want to talk about this Instacart opportunity more so because I'm kind of going back to what's really the Gig Geezer roots of this channel, where I did more gig related stuff. At some point, I'm going to start I'll start sharing the last mile and expediting and low board based opportunities again. When I do that, you'll know it because I guess what I'm sharing is that I know that I would like to be in another mode of transition again. And the reason why I'm talking about a mode of transition is because I see where I have to start diversifying things again, diversifying options, because what happens is that you don't want to be so heavily dependent. You see how things are trending, and you don't want to be so caught up in one particular trend. You don't want to be so caught up in one particular trend that you become so dependent upon that. And then when things kind of fall off, you're kind of caught offhand. You're kind of caught off guard, and if you will, with your pants down. That's the old saying. So for me, I keep talking about cash game. And cash game, other 1099 opportunities have not been significant. They've been present. I'll put it like this: the cash game, other 1099 opportunities have been present. They've not been significant, but I want to continue to develop that. And so going back to the gig apps, last mile gig delivery apps, I think I saw. It may have been the same one though, but I saw 2 notifications on my phone today. Yesterday, where I was, I saw 2 notifications on my phone. That's it. Day before that, there were a smattering of opportunities, but it's not like it's nothing close to what it was in 2023 when many of the apps debuted in the South Carolina market just collectively. So what does that mean? What do you do? Like I said, you got to continue to diversify. Whatever it is for you to diversify, that's what you got to do. All right, so I am done with the Instacart, at least the shopping phase, and quite frankly, I'll just put it like this. I know that I've not been to a Sam's at all this year so far, and this is my first one of the month. I completed 3 last month, and so that means I've completed a handful since November. And what kind of threw me off with this particular shopping was that it was actually at the checkout. Walmart, Sam's, they've changed their payment terminals. In that, it used to be when you're going to pay using the Instacart card, you get to the point where it's time to pay, you swipe, and then say change. You swipe the card, and then you change payment, and then you'd hit credit. Well, now you're supposed to do it once you've finished scanning everything, and then you hit card. But for whatever reason, the system just wasn't advancing. But eventually, you got it straightened out to where you hit card, and then you swipe, and then it's supposed to give you the chance to cancel out PIN, because that's the first thing it asks. Well, enter your PIN number. Well, with Instacart, you hit credit, so you cancel out, and then it automatically credits. So I had to get a Sam's person to come over and let's kind of talk this thing through and figure out what we need to do, because it worked on one transaction, but it didn't work on the second transaction. Go figure. Well, I also had a couple of items that needed to be refunded. One was some slices of Monterey cheese that they didn't have, and then the other was some blood orange juice. I've never seen blood orange juice. Not at any Sam's that I've gone to in the Columbia, South Carolina metropolitan market, nor have I seen it in any Sam's. Now, it could be something that's seen online and it just have yet to make it to the stores. What I do know too is that while they're supposedly the same space, the same square footage space, each store is really different in terms of they carry basic items that are the same, but it's not entirely the same. It's kind of like when you do shopping, say like at Publix. You have certain store locations that have things geared. Well, actually, the store locations stock items that is really reflective of the clientele that comes in. And so one store may have some off-brand shit that you never heard of, whereas another store has another set of off-brand shit that you never heard of. But it's almost specific to that immediate customer base. That's what I'm getting at, not clientele, but customer base. So those are just things that I've learned from having worked in retail decades ago, and understanding just what basic marketing. But really, this segment of the Gig Geezer, like I said, is random geezer thoughts. And the main thing is, I just find how interesting it is right now that there's hardly any last mile gig delivery opportunities that you see. I just saw one that came out just a few moments ago. In fact, that's where I kind of clicked out to see where it was located. And it was located on the other side of town in Lexington County, but then having to come back into Richland County. The offer amount was $31.66. If nobody touches it, it will probably go up to $37. But I didn't bother to screenshot it, or to even I did not bother to screenshot it, nor did I bother to look at what items that would be delivered. Some people believe that things will pick up. I don't know. I just don't know. I've had no confidence in things picking up. I looked at I checked out another content creator's content recently about it's catered towards really the trucking business as in its entirety, but they concentrate on flatbed and reefers and semis. And from time to time, on a weekly basis, they'll go over they'll go over the supply and demand of trucks versus cargo to be delivered. They'll also go over the rates. And while things have been somewhat stagnant, things have also been less than what they were this time last year, and this time last year things are less than what they were the year before. So it's not as if anyone's confident of this big boom, big uptick, and yet there's also a net losing of authorities, and for whatever reason. I mean, we don't know why authorities are, there are less authorities, but it's been said that it may take as many as 5 years for the market to correct itself based on the boom from 2020, 2021. As I've mentioned once before, if one is maintaining their authority, it's really a testament of them being able to pay their commercial insurance. Because without that commercial insurance, you've got no authority. Because the FMCSA will send you they will mail you a letter telling you you've got 30 days to show proof that you've got insurance, or your authority will be revoked. Also, if you go to your public profile, it'll say insurance subject to, for lack of better words, it'll say on your profile, insurance is subject to cancellation, may be canceled, or something to that effect. Insurance may be canceling soon. So, and depending on what monitoring service is checking that out, it may send a message to the people who have certificate holders and saying, hey, this person, better keep an eye out for that guy, or it will just outright say, you ain't got no coverage, and now you've got to show proof of coverage. And that's talking in generalities, but that's kind of how the process is. So more than anything, your maintaining an authority is more so a complement of your maintaining commercial insurance. So I'm coming up on the drop-off location for the first half of this Instacart order, and it is 3 packs of beef short ribs. 3 packs costing like $125. Yeah, it was just shy of 14 pounds too. I've talked to my queen about this, and she does the shopping. And I've not done since I've done very few Instacarts. My reaction is, damn man, food costs. Food really costs. This is not a test, man. This is the real thing. It is not a fucking test. All right, so I'm about to drop off these 3 packs of short ribs, and then I got one more drop off. One of the things that I've noticed with Instacart, not to mention in terms of the quality of opportunities, in that these orders really are, the offer amounts they're laughable by and large. But for some people, they're able to find those nice opportunities. They exist, but I promise you, when they do pop up, they are gone very fast. You got to really be on it if you're able to have also priority of seeing those orders slightly ahead of everyone else. Now, if memory serves me correct, there's gold, silver, and platinum, or whatever, gold, platinum, diamond, whatever it is. It's 3 tiers of shopper priority, and I'm at the bottom because I don't do enough. You basically have to complete 200 orders over 300. You have to complete 200 orders over a 3-month stretch in order to gain top priority in which you may see things slightly ahead of everyone else, and also the higher paying one, the highest of paying orders. This one, again, the offer amount is $30.31. There's 2 items that are going to be refunded, so this may pay $27, $28. You know, I'm already thinking about that. This is not the best of decisions in terms of the logistics part. It showed 13 miles, but it's a bad 13 miles because of where it's going. This is the first drop off was in this community that was once semi-exclusive, and then there were a couple of exclusive parts, but there are some sections of this entire community that has kind of devolved into the hood. The second drop-off location, which is the second person, now I'll tell you this, that person is already going to be fired. Now, why would I fire somebody? I mentioned on a earlier Gig Giza segment back in 2022, how it allowed us, I believe it was like April 2022, that we can block them. This person's getting blocked. They're just getting blocked. As simple as that. And so when I drop off, I will be giving them a thumbs down, and I will mark what I feel are reasons for them being blocked permanently. So again, I'm out here for one order opportunity. I was looking to earn a specific, a minimum dollar amount, and I'm going to do better than that, and that's going to be my week. I'm not divulging how much I earn, but I will say this much again, that my opportunities, most of them were through load board / expediting / brokered, load board based / expediting / brokered opportunities. I did have a couple of results from 1099, other 1099 / cash game opportunities, and quite honestly, that's the type of stuff that's keeping me going so far this year. It's not been the gig apps, but I will say this much again: you have to decide. You have to figure out how do you diversify your business operations in order to achieve your business goals each day, each week, each month. I mean, a lot of folk be looking for the answers to the test, but there are no answers to the test. There are things that you have to figure out for yourself. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, though, but that is the reality. You have to figure out what's going to work for you. I share that I'm in close contact with someone. I know what his business operations is. I'm not trying to model my business after his, though, but what he does is it incentivizes me to figure out what can I do to keep myself relevant in terms of earning opportunities on a consistent basis, and that's why I keep bringing up the cash game component, because there's going to be times when things aren't going as you would think on the load boards and the expediting opportunities. And what do? Obviously the gig food apps, they are what they are, and I can say that now with the last mile gig delivery apps, they are what they are too. And so what then do you do? And for me too, the reason why I'm saying all this is because I'll tell you outright, I've said this many times, but it's worth repeating again. My YouTube channel does not generate a lot of money. I generate a very minuscule amount compared to what some people do. And I've kind of bashed my head against the wall trying to figure out what do I do to revive this channel, at least according to the YouTube algorithm. And I don't have an answer. I mean, I'm getting about the same number of views as I once did 3 years ago, or just before I was monetized, I'm getting like the same number of views as I did 3 years ago. I've had one video, at least so far this year, that has generated over 1,000 views. The rest of them, shit. I mean, a few hundred, 200, 300, 400, 300. If I get 500, that's pretty good. There was a stretch where when the algorithm was really pushing my channel, I was getting a lot of subscriptions. I was getting a lot of views. But I also say this much too: it's not as if I was generating a lot of money. That's the other thing. So, you start a channel and you have to ask yourself, what is it that you want to accomplish? I've shared that I actually wanted to accomplish subsidizing my van note and my commercial insurance. Shit, I've not been able to do that a single month. I've earned enough one time to cover my van note. One time. Okay? And I've shared and I have divulged that my van note is in the neighborhood is actually less than $600 a month. It's like $590 something. And I've generated that dollar amount one time. So that dollar amount or more one time. And that's been over the last 2 years now. So, so I'm doing this. It's kind of like when I first started in the newspaper business. I started at a weekly newspaper in Houston. I wanted to write. I wanted the opportunity to write. And I actually worked at that paper for fucking free. And then when I did get money, which is like $50 in a week, they really didn't want to pay me that. In fact, one time they held back payment over some bullshit. So, but I wanted to work. I wanted to work in a business, man, and that's what I did. That's what I put up with. And then I shared in recent Gig Geezer segment, my first daily newspaper I worked at, $225 a week, man. That's not a lot of money. Not a lot of money. And then when I resurfaced in South Carolina, I was offered a job paying $25,000 a year. So that meant I was bringing in what, $2,500 a month? No, not even $25,000. I peaked at $30,000 on the job. I think I did. I think I peaked at 30 on that job, and it took me then 7 years to get to that point. When I left Richmond, when I was at Richmond Times-Dispatch, within a year I was at 31,000, and it took me 7 years to get to 30,000 in South Carolina. But I wanted to be in the business. I wanted to write. That's what I wanted to do. I was thinking long range in terms of getting back to the larger newspapers where the money was. So all that is to say, I'm sharing content because I want to share content. That's ultimately what it's all about too. So I'm not driven by. So I've talked for a few minutes just to say that I'm not driven by clickbait. I'm not driven by clickbait. I'm always asking, what's in it for you? What's in it for the viewer? What's in it for the subscriber? So I'm less than 5 minutes away from dropping off this particular half of the Instacart order, and that's again going to be my day. And so if you happen to like the content that's been provided in this segment of the Gig Geezer or in any other segment, hit that subscribe button, give my content a thumbs up, share my content among others, and I definitely welcome comments in the section below. I'm Inwood Lane. As always, may your grind and may your hustle continue.